Today is Wednesday, February the 2nd, 2022, and it's a great day to have a day here on the Spurs Up Show, the best Gamecocks podcast on the internet. And on today's show, I break down last night's game as South Carolina falls in a tough 78-64 loss to the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Guys, I'll give my full thoughts and takeaways from the game, as well as my biggest takeaway, hand out the Shooter Shoot Award, and we'll talk about what's next for Gamecocks basketball as well. Guys, we got a packed show for you here on this Wednesday, and of course, as always, it's brought to you by our friends over at Upstate Movers Group. Guys, Upstate Movers Group, for all your moving needs in the 2022 calendar year, be sure to check out our friends over at Upstate Movers Group. You can find them on social media at Upstate Movers Group. Of course, if you have any other questions, go to their website, upstatemoversgroup.com. That's upstatemoversgroup.com. Be sure to check them out and tell them Chris from the Spurs Up Show sent you. Let's get it. Ladies and gents, at some point in life, you are who you are. No matter how many hot streaks or cold streaks you may go on, at some point, the truth comes out. And it feels like as we sit here on this Wednesday, that maybe that was the case last night at Humphrey Coliseum in Starkville, Mississippi. Folks, happy Wednesday, happy hump day. Hope you're all doing well. I'm Chris Phillips, your host of the Spurs Up Show. As always, appreciate you all tuning in. We have got a packed show for you here on this Wednesday, and we have got a packed Wednesday on this side of things in regards to not just the podcast, not just the content, not just the Daily Crow, but events happening later today, guys. A couple of quick reminders, and then we'll dive into the meat of the show. First things first, of course, it is Wednesday. We are back at Tin Roof tonight in the Vista, 5 to 7. Do not forget $3 drafts, $3 rumple shots, and we'll be there kicking it with a bunch of happy Gamecocks, taking your questions, your comments, everything else. Also, if you want to tune into that live stream, if you cannot be there and you want to tune in live, you can via the Big Cock Club. Again, guys, join that today, just $9.99 per month, or you can sign up for an annual membership and get 10% off the total price. Again, that's over at patreon.com/bigcockclub, or go to our social media channels, if you will, click the link in bio, and you'll see the link to the Big Cock Club. So again, that's 5 to 7. Also happening tonight, I talked about it a couple of days ago. Very excited, though. We'll be at Pinch in 5 Points. Of course, in case you're not familiar, on Wednesday nights at Pinch in 5 Points, they have bingo, and they play bingo, and they give away prize packages and prizes and all that good stuff. And I know the people at Pinch, the owners, fantastic people. It's a great venue. If you haven't been in a while, by the way, it looks a lot different than it used to. Very clean, very nice. So come on out. We are giving away a TSUS swag bag, swag package, if you will, of merch. So we've got a Beamer Ball hat, we've got a Shane Storm t-shirt, and we've got a TSUS logo hoodie. I might even throw some koozies in there or stickers as well. So again, be sure to come out tonight to Pinch. Bingo gets going, I believe, around 8:30 or 9 o'clock. We'll be handing out our prize pack, I believe, like 10 or 10:30 or so. So again, guys, come on out. Going to be one hell of a Wednesday night for sure. Hope to see you there. Also, guys, in case you missed this on social media, very excited to announce, I told you guys a couple of weeks ago that the watch parties with Carolina Ale House are officially back, and our first one is upcoming this Saturday. Again, appreciate the fine folks over at Carolina Ale House wanting to extend the partnership yet again. We will be at the Somerville location this weekend for the Gamecocks game against Tennessee. 1 o'clock tip-off. Yours truly going to plan on getting there around 11:30 or so. Doors will open at 11. So again, guys, come out whatever you like. But again, the Somerville location, all my low country Gamecocks, if you're hearing the sound of my voice, would love to see you there. Again, going to be a really, really good time. And again, I appreciate the fine folks over at Carolina Ale House for having us out, having us extend the partnership through the spring sports, if you will. We'll be doing the watch parties for basketball, men's and women's, by the way. We'll be doing it for baseball. We'll be doing tailgates and events and all that good stuff. So again, guys, just stay tuned. Going to be really awesome. And they've already planned it's going to extend all the way through the entire year. So for football, we'll be back doing that as well. Really, really excited to, again, continue to partner with Carolina Ale House. So again, be sure to look at the details on social media, the address, the times, all that stuff is on there. But again, this Saturday, February the 5th, tip-offs at 191 Sigma Drive, I believe, is the address. So again, would love to see you guys out there. Okay, let's dive into it. A sort of a therapy Wednesday, if you will. But I think when you set proper expectations and you sort of brace yourself for what's coming, it's not quite as much of a therapy type of day as it may be if you really get your hopes up over the top and get let down and come crashing down. And at least for yours truly, as you guys saw and heard with my score prediction, which, by the way, I think you all know at this point, like, I'm not a toot your horn kind of guy when it comes to predictions. Like, when I get them right, I don't go on social media and boast and say, oh, look at me, I'm so smart, look at my predictions. Because when you make as many predictions as I do, you're going to get a lot of them wrong, right? Hey, even the best gamblers in Vegas miss, the best ones miss 58% of their picks, or 48%, I should say, whatever the number is, 38%. I can't do math right now. I'm so irate with how that game went. Either way, the best gamblers in Vegas are hitting 60 to 62%, which, you think about it, that percentage isn't that great, but that's just how hard it is. And you know what? I picked Mississippi State to win the game, 76 to 66. What was the final score? Mississippi State 78, South Carolina 64. So pretty damn near on the money. But that score does not reflect, as you all know, the butt whooping, the ass kicking that was last night at Humphrey Coliseum. And listen, we understood. If you listen to anything I said, we sort of knew that it wasn't a great matchup, right? And you find out before the game that Tyquan Woodley would miss the game due to the birth of his child, which, by the way, congratulations to Tyquan. That's incredible. He did and was where he should have been, right? But that hurt you even more, not having that big, and you got absolutely dominated on the glass and in the paint. Outside of the matchup not being favorable, little did we know that Mississippi State would shoot 54% from the field, 44% from three, and you would shoot 41% from the field and 28% from three-point range. Also, of course, as is normal, you got outshot from the free throw line. Mississippi State went 20 of 26. You went 11 of 16. By the way, on a side note, hear me out when I say this. I don't want to be negative Nancy, right? I don't want to be Scrooge McDuck here. I don't want to be the Grinch. And I'm talking almost to myself because I did this a lot during football season. But there's a phrase, there is a certain thing that sports fans say that we need to retire, okay? We need to retire it. And that is this. Whenever our team is getting blown out, right? And South Carolina was getting blown out. Mississippi State didn't score a field goal in the last 5:41. You went on what, a 13-0 run? A 13-0 run to lose the game by 14 points. And I get on social media after the game, and I'm not sitting here saying be negative just to be negative and just be doom and gloom, whatever. You know what? You had a bad night. Chalk it up to a tough venue, tough team. Mississippi State needed a dub. Hey, you did what you could not do. You got down early in the first half. We knew you couldn't do that, guys. You can't keep cheating death in that way and live to tell the tale. You just can't do it. But let's retire this phrase, guys, of, well, give them credit. They played hard till the end. They showed a lot of fight. We said that a lot in Shane Beamer's first season, right? And again, I'm not trying to be negative Nancy. I'm not trying to be a douchebag, but guys, hear me out. Well, they fought hard at the end. Well, no shit, my guy. They're on scholarship. They should play hard. They should work hard. To quote the great National Lampoon Christmas Vacation, you know what else works hard? Washing machines. They don't get any glory. So that's a little bit of a side note. Can we just retire that, guys? Like, there's no glory in losing by 14 points. I don't care that you went on a 13-0 run. The bottom line is you got your tails beat. You got your tails beat. And I'm not sitting here kicking and screaming and whatever. What's been said is what's been said. We're going to let the rest of the season play out. As I told you guys before, I'm not going to come on here and just repeat myself of, Frank Martin's job status, job security, whatever. But, we knew it was a bad matchup. We did. Now, did I expect it to be as ugly as it was? Not necessarily. And I think you saw, though, that Mississippi State is a really good basketball team still. Iverson Molinar, 20 points, 5 of 10 from the field. Brooks with 18, Jeffries with 10. They played really well. They've got good players. There's no doubt. They've got good players. Watts with 11, right? And outside of James Reese, nobody on your side could get the job done. And James Reese can we take a moment to acknowledge what this cat's doing? 15 points, 7 of 9 from the field, 1 of 2 from three-point range. The only other player in double digits was Devin Carter with 10 points and went 2 of 9 from the field. The only reason he got to double digits, he went 5 of 6 from the free throw line. But again, guys, I don't even really feel like this loss is worth, harping on for an extended period of time. Because again, we just knew, we knew that South Carolina had a lot of momentum, right? You had a 3-game winning streak. And I guess that's what sort of surprised me, that we still came out of the gate so poorly with that confidence, with that swagger, with that edge. I thought, you know what? We're probably going to lose to Mississippi State, but it wouldn't shock me if we punched them in the mouth early. And we came out guns ablaze and excited. And most fans were joking on social media, including yours truly. We look like we were fat off the brisket. We look like we spent all day yesterday eating brisket, not practicing basketball. You set yourself up for those kind of jokes, by the way, when you talk about, I'm going to go get the all-you-can-eat brisket buffet. I mean, it's funny in the moment, but you just sort of set yourself up for that one. But no, seriously, I was surprised by yet another sluggish start. But again, guys, at some point, you are who you are. And this team, this is not me saying this in a negative way. This team sort of is who it is, right? It sort of is who it is. You find yourself now 4-5 in SEC play. 3 of your 4 SEC wins are against Vanderbilt twice and Georgia. The other one against a reeling Texas A&M team. Not trying to take anything away from that victory, but I think most of us would look at the Aggies in that light. Okay? And so, many of you, which it was so funny on social media, and forgive me, because I'm feeling a sort of vengeance on my end. I'm sort of on one right now, and I was all day Tuesday, just getting after it, fired up, if you will. But I had so many people over the weekend after the Gamecocks beat A&M, and even after they beat Vandy. Oh, Chris, keep that same energy, man. Keep that same energy. You're the Fire Frank Martin guy. Keep that same energy. And we've talked about it ad nauseum. But when South Carolina starts losing, this energy's never changed. You guys know that. People that actually pay attention to the content understand where the energy has been. South Carolina starts losing, though. Hey, where's the energy from y'all? Where is it? It was nowhere to be found. I'm right here. I'm going nowhere. TSUS is going nowhere. TSUS is backing down from nobody or nothing. Where you at? Again, we all want the same thing. But where you at? As I said yesterday and a couple days ago, it didn't surprise me that South Carolina continue to fight, scratch, and claw. This team looks very similar to a lot of other Frank Martin teams that we've seen take the floor at the University of South Carolina. And that's not in a negative way. This team plays hard. When this team shoots the ball well and plays great defense the way Frank Martin wants to, it looks great, right? It looks great. But when we lose, folks, we don't just lose. Mwah! Chef's kiss. We lose with style. We lose with pizzazz. We lose in a way that makes you sit up off your couch and say, what in the hell is going on? That's how we like to lose. And I don't know why that is, but this team has the makings. This season has the makings of a typical Frank Martin year. And again, I'm not even saying that in a negative because we've had some solid years under Frank Martin. And I'll go ahead and own it now. Are we 6-12 in the SEC bad? Like I said in the preseason, I don't think we are. I think we're better than that. I really do. I mean, if we finish 6-12 from where we are now, I think it'll be pretty obvious what needs to happen. Let's go ahead and throw that out there. So I think we're better than that. But again, like most of Frank Martin's other teams, outside of one or two, we are just good enough to keep things sort of interesting, but we're bad enough to win nothing of real substance. And that is my biggest takeaway, guys, from Saturday night. Excuse me, not Saturday night. I've got my old notes in here. That's my biggest takeaway from last night. Excuse me. My biggest takeaway from last night is this. South Carolina will not eclipse 500 in SEC play this season at any point. I don't think the Gamecocks will be at 500, or excuse me, will not be better than 500 in SEC play at any point this season. Because I just see this team, again, you are who you are. And this team's going to still down the stretch win some that it probably shouldn't, but it's going to lose some in ugly fashion that are 50-50 games or maybe even games that it shouldn't lose. You are who you are. You're a Frank Martin coach team. I'm not saying that in a good or bad way, but you are what you are. This team can be really, really fun to watch. It can also be really painful and make you want to gouge your eyes out. So again, and that is where the apathy comes in that I've talked about before earlier in the season. Again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time or any time really harping on that, but that's where it comes from. Because again, you're just good enough to make you say, well, maybe I'll cut the game on. Maybe I'll go to the game on Saturday. Maybe this team's something. But then you lose like you did last night, and you're just bad enough to where nothing really amounts to the season. Nothing does. You are who you are. No hot streak or cold streak or what have you will change that. Is South Carolina as bad as being down 27 to Mississippi State? Not necessarily. Are they as good as winning 3 in a row in conference play? Probably not. Probably not. So again, my biggest takeaway, South Carolina is not going to eclipse 500 in SEC play at any point this season. You very well might beat Tennessee on Saturday. We'll talk more about that game later in the week. You might beat them on your home floor. Wouldn't even shock me because of the inconsistencies, and that would be such a Frank Martin thing to do is win that game. And you might get back to 500, but you won't eclipse 500 at any point. You won't. I think 500 is probably the ceiling for this team. 9-9 in conference play. Probably the ceiling. Probably the ceiling. Again, still got a long way to go. Maybe you could catch, quote unquote, lightning in a bottle. But you are who you are. You're a Frank Martin coach basketball team, and you haven't done anything this year. You know, it's so funny. I see people pulling their hair out, just losing their minds of, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? It's the same thing. I mean, guys, these are the same people. Hear me out. These are the same people that going into year 5, season 4, season just 4 now of Mark Kingston. So there's only been 3 seasons that we've actually played that are saying, well, Mark Kingston teams just can't hit. You got a 3-season sample size. And in one of those seasons, we swung the shit out of it in 2018. So what are you talking about? Got a 3-season sample size. And we're in year 10 of Frank Martin, and folks are acting surprised by our tendencies. We are who we are. And if you're okay with that, so be it. But we are who we are. And again, being who we are is going to provide some really fun moments in our season. It is. It has over the years. But we're also not going to be able to get over any sort of hump and win anything of any type of significance. So, you are who you are. Let's move to the Shooters Shoot Award, folks. And again, I hate to be repetitive with this award. I really do. I hate to be so repetitive. But who else can you give it to? I mean, James Reese, 15 points, I mentioned earlier, 7 of 9 from the field. 1 of 3 3-pointers. I mean, he was the lone bright spot for him. And again, Devin Carter had double digits, but you look at the rest of the stat line. I mean, Jacoby Wright had 5 points and went 2 of 3 from the field, 1 of 1 from 3-point range. Our guy Stevie had a rough night, 6 points, 2 of 9 from the field, and 0 of 3 from 3-point, which is so funny. The people, the Stevie haters, they said nothing over the 3-game winning streak, but by God, he has one bad game, and they are back out and about on Twitter like it's nobody's freaking business. Jermaine Kustar did not score until about 35 minutes into the ballgame. That cannot happen. Finished with just 7 points. AJ Wilson. Hey, AJ Wilson did have 7 points and go 3 for 3 from the field, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. But easily, guys, Reese is by far at this point our most effective shooter, most effective scorer. He's actually able to create his own shot. Really good player. I mean, really, really good player. Hope he keeps it up. But yeah, again, I hate to be repetitive with the award, but who else can you really give it to? So again, James Reese, the Shooters Shoot Award for the 3rd consecutive time, by the way. I doubt that happens again this season. I doubt it. I'd love to see it, but I doubt it. What's next for South Carolina basketball, guys? As we mentioned earlier, the Gamecocks will host the Tennessee Volunteers Saturday, February the 5th at Colonial Life Arena. Now, I want to say this, okay? We are doing the watch party in Summerville, South Carolina, but if you can go, I'm not telling you to give up on the season. Go support Frank Martin. Go support the boys. You never know what can happen. It's sports. You get a big win over UT, a top 25 team. You've got Kentucky coming to your place Tuesday, who, you guys know when we've played Kentucky here, weird things have happened. Just weird things, for whatever reason, happen in that series at CLA. So if you can go, by all means, folks, get your butts in the seats. But a really big one, again, it wasn't a great matchup at Mississippi State, and you more than reflected that on the floor. And the way you played was pathetic at times. And, you take it on the chin, you move on, and we'll see how this team can rebound, can bounce back. And again, this is a Frank Martin squad, so I fully expect them to, fight, scratch, and claw and be resilient and show toughness and show grittiness. And we'll see what that amounts to. Tennessee's a very good basketball team. They've got talent for sure. Again, they're in the top 25 for a reason. So that game at CLA going to be a very interesting one. But again, tip off at 1:00 at Colonial Life Arena. Make sure you are there if you can be. But again, guys, Gamecocks falling at Starkville, 78-64, and they'll look at to pick up the pieces this weekend at Colonial Life against the Vols. Guys, that's going to do it all for me. But before we get out of here, I do want to tell you about our friends over at Home Field. Do not forget, big event, major drop happening this Saturday, February the 5th. And I want to tell you a little bit more about our new sponsor, Home Field, guys. They're a premium collegiate apparel brand out of Indianapolis. They're incredibly comfortable, officially licensed apparel with vintage college designs. Guys, you guys know that I love the vintage designs, and these are absolutely incredible. Home Field is kicking off the big new Saturday season 3, where they launch a new school on their site every Saturday for 8 weeks straight, and South Carolina is week 3. Now, guys, here's what Home Field does. They dig through the archives and history of your school to find unique logos, mascots, and moments to make thoughtful designs for your school. Again, guys, the South Carolina collection will launch this Saturday, February the 5th, and I can tell you, it is fantastic. RIP your wallet, because you're going to want every single piece. Guys, the collection has 13 pieces of apparel in the collection, including t-shirts, hoodies, crew necks, and all vintage marks. Guys, I've already gotten the merchandise. I can tell you, it is fire. The comfort's incredible. The designs are incredible. The quality is incredible. And like I mentioned, hey, gonna hurt your wallet? Well, I'm here to help you out with that. New customers can get 15% off their first purchase from Home Field with the promo code SPURSUP at checkout at homefieldapparel.com. So again, on Saturday, while you're watching the South Carolina Tennessee game and you're buying your merch from Home Field, be sure to use that promo code SPURSUP for 15% off that first purchase. And again, guys, I'm telling you, you're going to want every single one of the 13 pieces that they have available because they are absolute fire. So again, that's our friends at Home Field. Use the promo code SPURSUP at homefieldapparel.com for 15% off your first purchase. And again, we appreciate the fine folks at Home Field for partnering with the Spurs Up Show. Guys, I'm out of here. Appreciate you all tuning in. Have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.